Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Let's see where we are. Where are we at? All right, here we go. What's up? What's up, everybody? Let's see if I can get it all situated here. We're going to let a few people come in. D-Lynn, what's going on? Great to see you. Patricia over on Instagram, Mama T Green, what's going on? Can you guys see me over there on Instagram? Thank you, guys. Thank you, team. I got the team in the background. Thank you, guys. Carter's in here. Carter, thank you so much. I was with Carter right before this, setting up a coupon code. We're going to try to each week. Thank you, Linda. We're going to try each week to have a QR code. No, that's not right. QR code is not the word. A coupon code for our e-commerce vitamin store for the people who are with us live. And we have a new code this week. Last week's code, I won't mention it because I don't want to confuse you because it's not live anymore. But I'm going to go ahead and put it up where we've got some crew in here. I'm going to post this throughout the evening. People are coming in. What's going on? I want to make sure our Instagram people can see it. Roel, what's going on? Roel likes to bounce around Instagram as well as YouTube, I believe. Let's see who else is with us. Carter's with us. Carter, thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you. And we've got 20 people in here now. I'm going to put this up. All right. So for the vitamin store, which is performancemedicine.net/shop, this is the coupon code for all the people that are with us live. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize it, although we did try to make it super easy. I see people are laughing in the green room. It's Tuesday 10. It'll be live until midnight Thursday. 10% off anything you get on the vitamin store, performancemedicine.net/shop. This is the coupon code right there to lower left corner. Bianca, what's going on? Great to see you. Robin, what's up? Great to see you. We'll let a few more people come in. You guys probably know. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. You guys probably know this, but if you don't, I'm going to put it up. I'm going to put it up anyways because I want our team to be happy with me. Our Mother's Day sale is happening all week right now. These are the specials we're running. So for those with us live, we got 28 of you. Tuesday 10 is for the vitamin store. That's the coupon code that'll get you 10% off vitamins in the vitamin store online. And then we have all the specials going on within our offices. We have offices in Kingsport, Johnson City, Bristol, Fountain City, and West Knoxville. The way to take advantage of these sales or these discounts is to call the office closest to you. This is happening all week. And you can prepay. So this is not something you have to do right now. In fact, the big strategy here is to load up here on this day and then to load up on Black Friday, which is the week of Black Friday in November that we do our biggest sale. And this is our second biggest sale. So you guys, I'll keep this up just for a minute so everybody can see. If you guys have question about this, let me know. We've got our team in the comments that can help out in any way you need help with. All right, and here we go. Let's see, Stan, what's up? Great to see you. Doc is getting ready. Real quick, I do want to put up, we had a great video go up on the Common Sense MD. I'm going to take this off and I'll put that back on here in a second. If you guys want to know the discount code or the coupon code for the vitamin store, let me know. We'll put it back up. Common Sense MD, listen to your gut. This was a really, really awesome episode around the importance of gut health, more specifically your gut microbiome. Talks a little bit about, what to eat, what not to eat. Talks a little bit about microbiome, fecal microbiota, a fecal transplant. That's more and more of a thing. So if you have questions about that, let us know. Juanita, what's up? Juanita is new here. Thank you, Juanita. We do this every Tuesday, Health and Wellness Q&A, 7 to 8. Guys, let's make Juanita feel welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Carol, what's going on? Great to see you as always. So for those of you who don't know, if you have questions for Dr. Rogers, we take live questions. We should get to everyone tonight. So you can go ahead and put those in the comments. We took a few from email and Instagram direct message. So we do have a few to start off with, and then we'll get to the live Q&A portion. Let's see here. Where are we at? This was a good one. Functional fertility specialist Robin Riddle, who is our nurse practitioner in the West Knoxville office. She is the star of Explain This. And in this episode, she explains how to track ovulation. Really, really cool episode. She goes into how to use LH strips. She talks about how to use labs, which I think is really the best way to do it. And also there's some apps that you can use, and it was a really cool episode. I hope, we got Mother's Day coming up. We're in Mother's Day week. So for all the future moms out there, I hope that's helpful. Robin is super, super passionate about fertility, and it shines in that episode. And it's a really cool how-to episode. So be sure if you know somebody who is trying to get pregnant, send them towards that episode, as well as I think there's a playlist on our website, or not our website, our YouTube channel for fertility. Robin's got quite a few videos up there. All right, we got any more people in here? If you're with us, let me know. Say hello. We're going to go live here just shortly. Real quick, before we get Dr. Rogers in, nutrition coach Lucas Schmidt detailed the importance of omega-3 in this episode of Dive Into Diet. It is live on the YouTube channel now. Highly, highly suggest. I know we've got a lot of people in here who are fans of vitamins. Omega-3s, if you've been here for any period of time, that's one of our favorites. So check that out. There's talks about food sources, as well as how to supplement omega-3. Montana, what's going on? Happy Tuesday to you. Thanks for all the amazing work you guys are doing over there in West Knoxville. Courtney, what's going on? Grandma Mary, I love you. Thank you for hanging out. Let's see. Doc, ready to roll?
Hey, Ben.
1 second. There we go.
You're growing your hair out.
I've got a little bit of a flow going right now. What do you think?
You really do. I like it. I do like
it. It's a little all over the place.
Yeah.
But we're trying.
For those of you that don't know, Ben, when he was a tennis player, he had hair down to his shoulders, and he looked like Fabio or somebody.
Doc, I don't know if you know this, but we've got specials running all week in the offices, and I don't know if you've noticed.
Mother's Day.
But we've got Mother's Day week specials going on all week. We're going to periodically put this up. If you guys have questions around these specials, let us know. We've got plenty of our team members in here tonight. We've got Montana, Carter. I'm sure we've got some others in there as well who can help you out. Barbara, what's up? What's going on? Angie's in here. Angie's in our Kingsport office. I need to be in. I need to stop in Kingsport. I should be there Friday, actually. All right, Doc, you ready to roll?
Speaking of Mother's Day, I told a patient today, if there's anybody you should ever listen to for good advice, it's your mother.
You know what?
Can you
I think,
argue with that?
no, I cannot argue. I think we can stop the show right there. And
Yeah, that's
I
all we
think
need to say. Let's forget the questions. That's all. When people drop their microphone, it's all over.
that was a mic drop. This week and every week, listen to your mom, guys. Listen to your mom.
Happy
and
Mother's
girls.
Day, everybody.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to all. And also, I got to say this, it is Nurses Week as well.
That's right.
Happy Nurses Week. We've got some absolutely amazing nurses at Performance Medicine. Montana's in here, who is amazing. Happy Nurses Week. We just had, let's see here, Robin was in here with Explain This and in that episode on how to track ovulation. Happy Nurses Week to all the nurses out there. We appreciate you. You guys truly are the backbone of healthcare. Truly are.
True. I agree 100%.
All right, guys, let's get into it. I see Larry's in here. Larry, what's going on? Thank you for hanging out. So if you're new here, let me know. Let us know where you're listening from. Look at this. I love this. You know what? Lori's out there enjoying this while taking an outdoor walk. I think that's incredible.
I love that.
I love that.
Great.
I love that.
There's nothing
Lori.
better than walking. As a matter of fact, we walk every day at lunchtime, and then I try to hop on my bike. As you can see, I just got off my bicycle because the weather's so great. But did Ernie send you that picture of this is funny because Ernie and I took a walk as we do every day. Ernie's our physical therapist in the Kingsport office. And we were walking through this park. And so we just decided to get on the swing set, like a kid's swing set. And Ernie started taking my pictures, and that he sent that to you today. That's me on the swing set today at lunchtime. Yeah, you got to bring your kid out, don't you?
You know what? I have to agree with you on this one. Like, I think like we talked a little bit about this with Jamie Winship and just the value of like laughter and, not taking yourself so seriously. Katie was there. You know what? I'm putting this up there for Katie.
Katie went.
Katie was there.
I don't know if she got on the swings or not. Ernie and I got on the swings, but I went so high, Ben, that, when the chain starts to get slack in it, and then you kind of, I thought about jumping off and, like you used to do as kids and going a long way.
I'm so glad you didn't jump off. I'm so glad.
Yeah. I knew I had to do the Q&A tonight. So if I got hurt, I didn't want to miss this.
You can't risk it. You can't risk it. Carter's going to be joining the walking crew tomorrow. I want to do the walking crew. I think this sounds fun.
Walking crew is fun. It really gets your day going. Walk at lunch, walk in the morning, lunch, and then after work. Ride your bike, stretch, do something. It'll really invigorate your day.
Katie, I love the what am I, chopped liver? That's got to be that's a movie quote. It has to be a movie quote.
No, she does eat chopped liver every day. Katie eats chopped liver, so I guess she is chopped liver.
Speaking of that, you did an episode today on gut microbiome where you do say microbiome. You are literally what you eat, and beef liver, of course, is like one of the most nutrient dense foods out there. What kind of brought on that topic for you? I know, the gut obviously is something that, you're passionate about and always have been, but that was like, you talked about fecal transplants. Like what kind of set you on that topic journey? Cause you've been studying the last couple of weeks for that episode.
Yeah. I think I perked it. The idea came to my head because of a documentary I saw.
Yeah.
About fecal transplants and how your gut microbiome is so important in your health. It's just amazing what happens with, I was telling Katie, since she's an identical twin, and we do a lot of twin studies in medicine because they basically have the same genetics, but they took these twins and that were separated by distance and time. And one twin would get obese and the other one would be a normal weight. And what they did these experiments where they took the stool, the fecal transplants. When they transplanted the stool from the obese twin into mice, mice got obese. And when they transplanted the stool from the normal weight twin, nothing happened to the mice. So that is your gut microbiome directing your weight. And
That's crazy.
That's just so interesting. It's crazy too, because they took a Parkinson's patient and transplanted his stool into a mouse, and that mouse developed Parkinson's symptoms. Is that not crazy?
Well, you mentioned
this is going to be the future of medicine. I'm going to cure. I mean, we're already cure C. diff infections, which is a terrible infection brought on by usually antibiotics, and they cure that. It's about 98% curable with a fecal transplant, which is crazy.
But you know what? I don't know about you guys. We got 45 with us right here live. Are you guys pumped about that? For me, that excites me. Learning stuff like that is so exciting. And one, it makes me feel like there is a little more control. You mentioned in the episode, you can't control your genes, but you do have control over your gut microbiome. We talk a little bit about how to do that in this episode, but documentaries like that, stuff like this, the fecal transplants that you're talking about and the twin studies, I don't know. I find that so encouraging. So yeah.
I mean, 99% of your DNA in your body is not your DNA. It's your the bacteria that inhabits your body's DNA. 99% of it. Only 1% of it is what you're born with. So just interesting. Wild. We better get to the questions. I'm kind of riffing a little bit.
All right, we're going for it. I see Dave's in here. Dave, what's going on, man? Great to see you. Loretta, I see your question. Great question. If you have questions for Doc, go ahead and put them in the comments. We'll get should get to all of them tonight. Let's start with, let's see here. This is a fun one. Any insight on light therapy, PEMF, hot cold therapy for cancer, specifically lymphoma? Interestingly enough, you and I, we talked a little bit about what would you do scenario type things, and talk a lot about, what you would do if you had cancer. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah. I like light therapy for a lot of things. And pulse electromagnetic field therapy uses magnets that are electrified. And it's, they're great for you, but mostly in calming down inflammation. I don't know enough about it to tell you to go for it for lymphoma or not. It's not going to hurt it, that's for sure. Of course, I love hot cold therapy for a lot of things, stimulating your immune system. So in theory, it would work. It may help you. It's just one of those many things that you need to do to combat cancer if you're faced with that. So I can't tell you of any studies for PEMF on lymphomas, but I'm sure it's out there. And sure, it may be one little adjunctive therapy that you could use for any kind of cancer, along with the other stuff that we do, like ketogenic diets, all the things we do, artemisinin, Fenbin, all the alternative stuff, as well as the traditional things for cancer. But so oxygen therapy, hyperbarics, all that kind of stuff, I think probably contributes to healing. But you can't go claiming that it's going to cure a lymphoma, but it certainly could be one of the adjunctive therapies for it.
Thank you so much for that question. Came in over Instagram. Let us know how things are going. We certainly appreciate you asking the question. Let's get to this one here. I know you're fine with a 1 week break from all supplements. What about 2 weeks? I'm traveling for 2 weeks with a carry-on, so do not really have room for all these vitamins. A common question, around vacation. What's your thoughts on this? Because I know you say to build in weekly with,
It's fine. I think it's fine. not going to hurt you. This is a long-term gig.
Mm.
This is for life. If I was to bring one with me, it'd be a D with a K. But or you should use a super multi. I mean, because it has about everything you need in it. So you wouldn't have to carry much for sure. Just take a little. I usually pack just the essentials because I take a lot of vitamins. But now that we've synced it down to the super multi that has all that great stuff and the great doses, you could probably just take a super multi, but it's not going to hurt you to miss a couple weeks at all.
Very practical question. Thank you so much for sending that in over email. This one's around long COVID. Struggling to heal. What are some good supplements to help? Also, is DigestShield safe for histamine or MCAS issues? Does any of your offices help with mast cell issues? Goes on to say, seems to be a lot of this since COVID, which I've developed from long haul COVID. So let's see, I'm going to put this back up here. I'll let you answer that first one. I know you got a little bit of a cocktail for this.
Yeah, we see long COVID all the time. Matter of fact, when I got home today, I forgot to tell one of my patients that still wasn't tasting very well or smelling to try a nicotine patch for that. Sometimes that'll help. But, mast cell activation syndrome is something that can be really serious and tormenting. And it's something that's hard to diagnose. You got to get some weird tests to really kind of halfway diagnose it. Sometimes you can deduce that that's what it is. It's severe allergy type symptoms not only from your sinuses, but from your digestive system as well. But there's a lot of things you could do for histamine. Certainly DigestShield is safe for MCAS. It helps because it tends to be very anti-inflammatory. But the things that help mast cell activation syndrome that come to mind, there's a whole array of them. I mean, gosh, you can start out with anything that decreases inflammation, like turmeric, MSM, things I use for arthritis as well, I think helps. And certainly DigestShield would be good for the gut part. But, I like to use a lot of like antihistamines. I don't use so much Benadryl and Vistaril as much as I do the second generation of them, like Zyrtec and Claritin, Allegra. They have less side effects, less sedation, although Zyrtec can make you a little bit drowsy. But I like those. I like Singulair, which is one that we use for that. I think it's pretty effective, 10 milligrams at night. I also like to use the H2 blockers like Pepcid. I think that helps a lot. Look at what may be triggering it. It could be foods. But once it gets going, it can be you could struggle a lot with that. I mean, even if you end up using steroids, I mean, sometimes I'll calm it down with low dose prednisone. And they even use monoclonal antibodies for it too if it gets really serious. But sure, we see that in our office. People that come in with MCAS usually have seen a bunch of other doctors who really didn't recognize what it was. So it's not as uncommon as you might think. But come in to let us help you if we can.
Great question. I hope that helps a little bit. I'm going to put this up here, one, because I didn't want to forget it, and I hope they're with us tonight. There was a listener who asked about Derkham's disease, and what we try our hardest to do is we're not going to talk about anything that we're not sure about. So we did some research, and Doc, why don't you just talk a little bit about this and hopefully help this listener.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it, but when they described it, it's kind of like neurofibromatosis. Another word for that's von Recklinghausen's disease, which can be really severe, lead to a lot of neurologic problems. But I did look that up, and it turns out it's somewhat similar in that you get instead of these fibromas like you get in von Recklinghausen disease or neurofibromatosis, you get more of, just fatty tumors like lipoma type things, which we see quite often in the office. But Derkham's is more severe in that all these lipomas are painful. And, there's no great treatment, no real known cause, but you can get them cut out. You can have them excised, and that's what a lot of people do. And it can even cause a little bit of neurologic problems, more probably, because of the pain and the disability. A lot of people get disabled with Derkham's, but it's extremely rare though. And looking it up, but so you can get surgical excision of these things. Anything you do to calm down the inflammation would help, just like we talked about with some of the other stuff. If it was me, I'd certainly try something like low dose naltrexone in case it's, has an autoimmune type etiology. Certainly wouldn't hurt, but that can be a very painful, debilitating condition. Very rare though. So I hope that helps.
I'm going to put this. So Kelly is in here, and I knew Kelly with an I. That I knew there was like a reason that we did not forget this, and it's Kelly with an I is in here. So thank you, Kelly, for letting us know, and I hope that helps. Seems that she heard as well that LDN could be a good med to try.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would definitely try.
That's awesome. Thank you, Kelly. I see Robin Riddle's in here. Robin, what's going on? Robin's video on how to track ovulation is up live. So make sure you share with a future mom who could really benefit from that video. Thank you, Robin, for being with us tonight. All right, let's keep going here. Where am I at? So that was the Derkham's update. Okay. Let's go to a peptide question. I've purchased tesamorelin 6 milligrams combined with CJC 1295 3 milligrams and ipamorelin 3 milligrams for a total of 12 milligrams. I'm very active with CrossFit and height 6'5", weight 285. Context is would like to drop another 30 pounds while building lean muscle mass. Crazy, I know. What would the correct dosage be mixed with 3.5 milliliters of BAS water, bass water?
Probably just sterile water.
Sterile water?
Yeah. Again, I don't know what mixed with 3.5. You'll have to figure that out with the pharmacist. But you got a triple play there. I love my favorite CJC 1295 with ipamorelin. When I could get it, that's what I took. It's getting very hard to get. The FDA does not like ipamorelin. I love ipamorelin. You can still get samorelin. I think you can still get tesamorelin. But, I don't know where you're purchasing it. You may be able to purchase it through something like off the internet, through Peptide Sciences or somewhere. How legal it is, I don't know. But right now we can't get the ipamorelin and a lot of other peptides that we really like from our compounders are scared to make it because the FDA comes down on them. But, I don't know why you need both tesamorelin and ipamorelin. I mean, they're both growth hormone releasing hormone, and those are both secretagogues, but the CJC 1295 is what is a growth hormone releasing hormone. So in other words, they do work well in combination. Those two peptides work, one of them to kind of release it, the other one to have the secretagogue to have the action on the pituitary to release more growth hormone, which is certainly beneficial. I love it. Without the side effects, possible side effects you'll get with real growth hormone, which is illegal anyway and prohibitively expensive. So I think the dose, probably the reason, because what I've seen is a little bit lower dose of tesamorelin, like maybe 1.5 milligram, 1 to 1.5, if I remember right. And the CJC and the IPA, that seems like a pretty low dose to me. I think the one I had seemed like it was about 15 milligrams of CJC and 9 of the IPA. But so your total may be kind of close to that anyway. But I'm certainly not against it. It may be overkill to take 2 of the growth hormone releasing hormones. But yeah, you can, when you mix it with 3.5, I don't know, you're going to have to go to a calculator like Robin says here for me to just off the cuff guess at that. I wouldn't do that, but because you want to get the dose right.
I'll put this up from Robin just for people who are interested in peptides, and for this listeners. Thank you, Robin, for putting this up there for us. Peptidecalc.com is helpful for calculating this. So thank you for putting this in there, Robin. I'm going to put that question. There we go.
Great comment, Robin. But yeah, I like them all. When my last dose of the IPA runs out, I'll probably just use tesamorelin. I think it's more potent than samorelin. And certainly, I know a lot of people make the sublingual, but I just don't find it to be as it just doesn't work as good like the injectables. But it's a good goal. And again, I'm glad you're losing weight and gaining muscle, because that's the problem. Is because a lot of people lose weight, they lose muscle as well, especially if they're using, semaglutide or, one of the others, tirzepatide, because you can lose muscle with that. So you need to study on how not to lose muscle when you're losing weight. And you're very active, which helps. You're lifting weights, and you're probably taking protein, which you need. And but that's a very good goal. I'm very happy. I think you're on the right track. I really do. And also, of course, you'll check your hormone levels, your testosterone and estradiol levels, and go from there. But sounds like a great goal.
I'm just going to put this up here from Robin again for those who want to write that down. Peptidecalc.com for the YouTube people. You can see that in the comments on Facebook. All right, let's keep going here. This is I love this one. Happy healthy hair question. I really want to try happy healthy hair, but I read that Anagain is like minoxidil, in that if you use and then stop someday, you may actually lose the hair again and possibly even more. Have you seen this at all, or haven't had it long enough to know? Great question. Yeah. Anagain is kind of the what we call the special ingredient in happy healthy hair. What's your thoughts on this one?
I put a lady today on minoxidil, and a little bit of tiny dose of finasteride. She's not of childbearing age. So, and certainly we're seeing a lot of hair loss through COVID and, stress and everything else. So first of all, make sure your thyroid is good, healthy, optimal, and that your ferritin levels are okay. You're not anemic, and just make sure you get something like a Cleveland panel. Look at your estrogen levels. In general, hair loves estrogen. It's not real fond of testosterone, especially if it's converting to dihydrotestosterone. And certainly that's what the finasteride does, is block that down. But again, I haven't had it out long enough to see, but it's kind of like anything. If you stop using it, you're going to go to your baseline. I can't imagine it's going to make you lose any more hair, but kind of like what we've learned about some of the weight loss shots that we prescribe, like semaglutide, tirzepatide. You will definitely lose weight with them. And be careful that you don't lose muscle too, because you can if you don't do it right. But what we know is that you always look at the benefit risk ratio, and because people ask me all the time, what are the long-term effects of the semaglutide? And well, it could cause some GI upset. It could cause constipation, but so far in these line of medicines have been out for 10 years. What most of the side effects are way less heart disease, less liver and kidney disease, probably less dementia. I mean, everything good, really. So I'm not worried about Anugain hurting anybody. It's just probably and minoxidil I like in pill form. That's Rogaine. I just don't think it works real well on your head. It works better orally. But the lady I started on today, she has low blood pressure anyway, so you got to watch your blood pressure with. I started her on half of a normal dose. So, yeah, I'm not really worried about losing your hair again. I mean, a lot of times, hair grows in cycles, and for whatever reason, it kicked that cycle of hair loss off, prolonged cycle of hair loss, which could have been stress. It could have been a medicine. Hopefully you get that straightened out, and everything else is going good, and you'll stay healthy. But we just haven't. It's not been out long enough in our happy, healthy hair for 10 years to see, if there's any problem. I just can't imagine you would, stop taking it and go bald. That's just not going to happen. But it's a great question.
Yeah, I love this question. One, because I can kind of hear the principle that you're talking about that can be applied to so many other things regarding your health when talking about medicines or vitamins and
or hormones. Like
hormones.
there
Yeah.
was an interesting conversation that I overheard. I don't know if I mentioned this last week or not, but it bears retelling because it's so interesting to me. Jenny was in hot yoga, which she does 6 days a week, and she overheard two ladies talking. They were in their early 50s, both going through menopause, and she just overheard her talking. One of them comes to see us, and all the symptoms are gone. All the hot flashes, night sweats, feels great. The other lady was asking her about it, and she was telling all the benefits and all. And the lady that was just going through it said, I'm just miserable. I'm having all these hot flashes, night sweats, mood changes. I'm miserable. But I just think I'm going to tough it out. And I thought, why? That just dumbfounded me. I'm just going to tough it out. That's just, I don't want to say what it is, but it's kind of just ignorance of hormones. And it's so common. It's unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, doctors just don't know enough about it or talk about it. It's just dumbfounding to me. We were eating dinner with some friends, and one of the ladies was asking me, that was my age, something and about her health. And I go, have you looked at your hormone levels? And no, never even heard about it. So it's just crazy how much non-information and misinformation is out there. Why would you want to tough that out? I mean, why would you want to get old soon? And that's the reason I'm saying this, is because I listened to two podcasts this past weekend. One was on female heart disease, and it was three female cardiologists talking about heart disease. And again, they went over all the things you could do to prevent it and all this, and why women caught up quickly with men after 50, after menopause. So they talked a little bit about hormones. You could tell they just had a tiny bit of knowledge about it. And these were three Ivy League type cardiologists. I mean, and they were, really sharp, but didn't have much knowledge about hormones, obviously. But they did say that, there's a lot of evidence that estrogen does protect your heart, which we know for sure. And as well as a bunch of other stuff, but they said, but stop when you reach age 65. Just stop it at age 65. Like, you're thinking, why would they say that? Because especially in life, you're not keeping up, because just this past 2 weeks ago, there's a huge article, huge study that was published in PubMed, one of the biggest, most authoritative publications we have as doctors, PubMed. And it was also in the journal Menopause. And in that study, huge study, this study focused on women taking hormones after age 65 and everything good. less heart disease, less AFib, less DVT. I mean, less cancer, less breast cancer. I mean, it's just incredible findings. I'm going to do a podcast on it, on the results of that trial, but it's just, I'll get on my high horse about this, but yeah, so something like this, I wouldn't worry about. Something about stopping my hormones, I would worry about. Don't stop them, keep taking them. Same thing I will tell you about the happy, healthy hair. You're not in any danger by stopping that.
No, it's such a good question, and again, kind of going back just to the principles of it, and the hormone example is such a good example.
Yeah, and your
I
hair's
hope
going
you
to get
guys,
thinner as you get older anyway. Your hair's going to naturally get thinner as you get older, and hopefully, with the use of the other stuff, the things you can do to help you stay on it.
Yeah. With any of these, and I'll ask this, and then we'll move on. Any concerns? Because hopefully this will help the listener here. Any concern with like getting what do you call it when you use something over and over again? Tolerant.
Tolerant. No.
Tolerant to it. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I know that's a concern for vitamins, for even hormones.
Yeah. That's why, just do it 6 days a week in case you're worried about it.
Yeah.
But usually you're going to miss a day anyway, just forgetfulness. But
man, great questions that came in throughout the week. Thank you guys so much. That really just it makes our week to see the questions, and it really gets our show going, as you can see, in such a good direction. If you guys have any questions regarding what Dr. Rogers was just talking about, it's the perfect place to do it. We're going live with our questions here, going into the comments. Obviously, these are big concerns. Like if you start something, I see a berberine questions in the comments. Like if I start berberine, do I have to stay on it forever? And same questions around.
Great question. Maybe not. Yeah. I mean, if you start eating a lot less carbs and doing some of the other stuff, you may not have to. But again, remember, berberine is going to lower your cholesterol. It's going to lower your blood pressure. It's going to lower your insulin resistance. So a lot of it depends on where you're at, with your weight, with your lifestyle, with your exercise, with your eating, so.
Well, one thing I do want to put up, because I'm pretty sure my man's not going to get off methylene blue, because he's not even getting carded anymore. When he goes out, he's not even
asking for. I thought he would be getting carded. He looks
He's
great.
Getting carded. He's getting carded. I read that wrong.
He's getting carded. I thought, I can believe it, Morgan. That's amazing. And everybody knows Morgan anyway. He's got he's got the TV face and voice,
And voice.
I've got the face for radio. Morgan's got the face for TV and radio.
He's got the TV plus the radio voice.
Not many people have that. Yeah.
Morgan, thank you so much, man, for the kind words there. Oh, what did I hear? I missed something there. Are you hearing that?
No. What are you hearing?
I don't know. My earphones are acting up. I'm hearing stuff. Okay.
Maybe you're kind of going crazy, Ben. You're supposed to be reading these questions. They don't come in through your earphones, do they?
I don't know what that was. That was crazy.
Maybe you're getting hacked. Okay. Are you playing music or?
Let's keep going. I've got a clear ear now. Okay, let's get to. I want to put that berberine question up because they just came by the office. I'm going to try to find that, and then we'll keep going in order. Let's see. All right, not finding it. All right, I'll find the berberine here in a second. I'm going to get to a question so we can get moving here. All right, Loretta's asking a lot of commercials about Omega XL and how it helps the pain and inflammation. Is that what the omega-3s target?
One thing, definitely if you're looking for something that will help inflammation and pain, omega-3s are near the top of the list. But yeah, I mean, of course I love omega-3s, but does so much more than just target inflammation. I mean, It lowers triglycerides. It helps promote your cell wall formation. It helps your brain. I've said before, right behind D with K, omega-3s are my next favorite supplement. So, yeah, I mean, and again, get your omegas checked. We check that with the Cleveland panel. We see where all your omega-3s are in relation to your omega-6, the more inflammatory type omegas like linoleic acid, which you don't want high. So, yeah, it definitely is part of a good anti-inflammatory regimen, for sure.
Thank you, Loretta, for that. And you might have already watched the dive into diet episode with Lucas. He dives into omegas pretty deep in that episode if you want to learn more. Okay, let's keep going here. Let's go to Angie from our Kingsport office. What would you recommend for EPI, exocrine pancreatic insufficiency? Love this question.
I wish you'd asked me that at work so I could have researched it some, Angie. Well, definitely, probably definitely take some pancreatic enzymes, which is in digestive enzymes, in other words, which is in digestion, which I love so much. Sometimes that, it can be serious enough to where you may have to take some heavy hitter prescription type pancreatic enzymes. But that's an interesting question. Good question, though.
Thank you, Angie. You know what? I love it. I love it when our team stumps the doc. I love this. So what we're going to do is
you have your endocrine glands and you have your exocrine glands, and that's one of the exocrine. Sweat glands are also an exocrine gland. But yeah, really, really interesting. But digestive enzymes and a great diet, and a lot of it depends on how your gallbladder's functioning and how your gut microbiome, that's how that comes into play as well. But good question.
Thank you, Angie, for putting that in there. I'm going to get to Megan's. This is a comment. I stopped by Dr. Raj's office today and got some berberine. All right. Let us know how that goes. Megan, if there's anyone in here in the comments who has been on berberine, had great results, let us know in the comments and help Megan out there. Thank you, Megan, for putting that in there. I'm going to go, I see over on Instagram, Christine is asking, before I have the Cleveland Clinic panel drawn, should I be fasting? Great question, Christine.
Yeah.
What's kind of your go-to for this?
Preferably, just because that's the standard kind of, but I don't mind getting a non-fasting Cleveland. Sometimes I prefer it. So as long as we know whether you're fasting or not, because, sometimes I like to see what's going on with your insulin level after you eat. So for standardizing tests, we just say, just come on in fasting, black coffee or water. But at other times, I'll get it when it's non-fasting and get as much or maybe even more information about it. I don't know who invented this thing about fasting labs, and made it the standard, thinking that, well, this is the only way to check a lab. It's not true. It's not true. It's probably more functional not to do it fasting, but just for baseline. And, if you ever share it with another doctor, they may say, well, you weren't fasting. Well, heck, my sugar still jumped up to, 169, and my insulin level is high along with my C-peptide. It probably won't affect some of your subparticles on the lipid panel, but I would say, just for routine, usually fasting if you think about it. But if not, don't worry about it. Still come in for it. There's so much information on that. I know in a lot of European nations they don't check fasting labs; they just check labs.
Now, just for clarification, if someone does come in for a Cleveland to our office or anybody's office, and they have not been fasting, they need to tell them that they have not been fasting, right? Because that could affect the way.
Yeah, and tell the provider when you go over it, I wasn't fasting.
Okay.
So it's fine.
All right. Thank you for that question, Christine, over on Instagram. I see Raleigh's over there on Instagram, Sped Tech. What's going on, guys? Great to see you guys over there on Instagram. Thank y'all for hanging out. Just so you know, I am looking at the comments on Instagram. I just can't put them over into my screen here, so I'll just have to read those out loud. Let's get to Roel over on YouTube. I believe he's on Instagram too. Doctor, I'm about to start to take testosterone cypionate, 200 milligrams. Should I also increase my omega-3? And also going to start taking losartan, 25 milligrams. Any words of wisdom? Huge shout out to Roel. Proud of you, man. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm glad you're getting on the words of wisdom. Always listen to your mother. Although she probably doesn't know much about testosterone. So yeah, words of wisdom. That's an average good dose of testosterone. And most people take the cypionate. Some people I put on the naphthate. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad, but in about 6 to 8 weeks, make sure you check your levels again, see where you're at, and try to check it a week after you take one of your shots, not the day after or 2 weeks later. About a week afterwards, and check, things we watch out for, of course, are your hemoglobin hematocrit. It can pop them up a little bit. If it gets too high, we have you donate some blood. Also you need to look at your estradiol level as well. Increasing omega-3s, I don't know if you need to do that or not, just depending on what your levels are. But it can't be a bad idea. And losartan, 25. I don't know if you're doing that because you're thinking you need some protection from the testosterone. That may be what you're trying to do. But here's what I will tell you. Testosterone does not cause heart disease. It prevents heart disease. It's only if your estrogen level got super high or your blood got too thick that you should start worrying about anything. That's easy to take care of. But so if your blood pressure is up or you're a diabetic, you can, a low dose of losartan like that may be helpful, in protecting kidneys and things like that. But I hope you're not thinking about those two just to protect your heart against testosterone. It's really not. I don't know where you've heard that, but probably from a cardiologist, but it's not true. So you don't really need to do that just because you're on test SIP. Next thing you'll be doing is taking a statin, which you don't need because of testosterone either. And again, I use statins sometimes, but not because I'm starting somebody on testosterone. So, Roel, that may be, I'm not sure if that's the reason you're starting those all at the same time, but it'd be kind of nice to know if that's why you're doing it, or, all of a sudden you're having problems and need to get on, your triglycerides are high, or your blood pressure is up or something like that. But don't do it just because you're taking testosterone.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Roel, thank you so much for that question, brother. I see Danielle just joined us.
Great question. Nobody's ever asked me that before.
Thank you, Roel. Love that topic. If there's any more questions about that, let us know in the comments. I see Danielle's with us on Instagram. Thank you, Danielle, for joining us. I'm going to put this up because I love putting up wins. D. Lynn is saying, I've been on berberine for a while, A1C down to normal, and I've lost 20 pounds. Just switched to the dihydroberberine today. Amazing. Thank you, D. Lynn, for putting that in there for us. Real quick, I'm going to put this up because for the people that are with us live, we're doing a little coupon discount for our e-commerce vitamin store every single Tuesday. This changes. This week, it is Tuesday 10 for a 10% discount on all the vitamins on our e-commerce store. There we go. You can also scan that. There's our vitamins there, digest shields on the store as well. So 10% off if you use Tuesday 10, and you have until Thursday at midnight, until that goes away, and then we'll do a new one next week. Thank you, team, for that. Let's keep moving here. I want to get to all the questions we can. If I'm missing somebody, let's see where I'm at. Okay. I do not think I'm missing a question. If I'm missing somebody, let me know. Put it at the end because sometimes I will miss them. Okay. we might be towards the end of the show. I'm not seeing a question. If you have a last-minute question for Dr. Rogers, go ahead and put it in the comments. Until then, I'm going to put this up for all those who are close to an office. We're doing our second biggest sale of the year for Mother's Day. Is happening all week, May 6th through the 12th. So you got a couple more days left. Call the office closest to you. You can prepay. Prepay options are available. So please check that out. Take advantage of it if this is something you're already doing. Let's see here. Where are we at? All right. If we have any more questions, I'm seeing that's definitely not a question on YouTube. Let's see. Oh, nice. D-Lin's got all the wins today. I also started taking the performance medicine brand of magnesium. Sleeping better. Oh, that's awesome, D-Lin. Thank you.
We're not paying D-Lin to say that, but thank you. That's our purpose. We hope it helps you sleep.
Thank you, D-Lin. Pop, what a show tonight, man. This was awesome.
We did good, man.
There's the store. You can scan there with your phones if you're on a phone or on a computer. I'll put the discount code up one more time for those interested. Tuesday 10 is the discount code for the next 62 hours. I believe midnight Thursday. I think this is a serious question. What is the best supplement for longer life? Do you have any like longevity type, any supplements that kind of help with longevity that you can think of? I know it's general.
Well, we have our longevity vitamin that you can put up there that has what I think is good. But yeah, again, a lot of what I study is longevity. And I was just listening to at lunchtime today to Dr. Atia's, myths and facts about longevity supplements, and they're very interesting. He went all the way from, I think he categorized them as, a waste, maybe not, but not proven, probably good, and definitely good. So, there's a lot of things. You can put my longevity vitamin up there, but I like, I think most people will tell you resveratrol is good for longevity. I like astragalus, which I put in there. That's the same ingredient you get in a very expensive supplement called TA65. That's really expensive. So I got the raw astragalus, and that's why I put that in there. But let's see what else. Apigenin is in there, which I think is a really good one for telomere length. And I've also put nicotinamide riboside. He talks a lot about whether that, to pop up your NAD levels, which is tied so into metabolism. So I really like our longevity vitamin. It's not a cheap vitamin, but it's loaded. I mean, I put everything in it, and I think that's a really good longevity supplement. A prescription medicine that I use a lot, I wrote somebody a prescription today for it, is rapamycin. And certainly when you listen to Atia, who's a fairly young guy compared to me, he's like 52 years old. He's been on it for 5 years. My ultimate aging, astragalus, nicotinamide riboside, and apigenin. Yeah, those are my 3 biggies that I really like. And I do like resveratrol as well. You get that anywhere. And parsley. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Apigenin is great for sleep too. That's why I take my formula at night. But yeah, she just handed it to me. My ultimate. Did you see that? That's funny you asked that question because I do like this formula. And then look at resveratrol, so there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. And again, nothing's going to replace eating right, exercising daily, getting a good night's sleep, especially if you have, obstructive sleep apnea, keeping stress levels down, and then hormones, hormone balance for sure.
I've
got the dogs here, Ben.
Let's get this question from Deb, and then we'll get the dogs up. The question is, what is your recommended treatment for painless ganglion cyst? Am I reading that right?
Ganglion cyst, like, yeah, if it's in your wrist or anywhere, really, they're the dogs. Now Izzy had a painful wart in her mouth a few months ago, and is an interesting cure that she got. But now I've told the story before, but if it's painless, it's not bothering you, don't do anything. I've sucked them out with an 18 gauge needle before, and they come back. You can, if you get it excised, so don't drain them. They used to call it the Bible cyst, where you just smash a Bible on it, or the biggest book in the house, and it'd go away. It won't. So you could get it surgically removed if you want to, but if it's painless, if it's not bothering you, don't worry about it. But if you get it sucked out with a large gauge needle or drain, it's going to come back. You have to really get the whole thing. Izzy.
I love it.
Izzy loves the spotlight. But anyway, yeah. So just if it doesn't bother you, don't you have to do anything about it. But yeah, that weird story I was going to tell you about Izzy was she had a wart, what looked like an obvious wart that was getting bigger and bigger on her gum. So I told Jenny she needs that cut off or burned off or something, because it's getting big, obvious too. And so she takes her to the vet and comes back, brings her home that night. I said, did they burn that wart off or get rid of it, excise it? And she goes, no. She said it was caused by a virus, and to get this prescription filled at the pharmacy, and it'll go away. So I went down to the pharmacy and got the prescription. It was for Zithromax, an antibiotic. And I thought to myself, what? This is an antibiotic for a wart, which is caused by a virus. So, but I gave it to her anyway. Guess what? It went away. I could not believe it. It went away. Then I started thinking to myself, why am I doubting?
Why'd you mute?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Can you not hear me? Oh, shoot. Can you hear me now?
No.
I'm muted out somehow.
What in the world? You can hear him? Maybe I can't hear him. Oh, I can't. I know why.
Why?
I
can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can? Okay.
They can hear you. See, Carter, thank you.
Let me finish the story up and then we'll get off. But so anyway, this Zithromax antibiotic cured her wart, which is caused by a virus, right? So couldn't believe it. Then I started thinking to myself, I've always thought that Zithromax cured viruses. Look at COVID. I mean, we put everybody on Zithromax. It got better along with the other stuff, but certainly it definitely helped it. And I can tell you from personal experience that when, say, I've gotten a sore throat or sinus infection, which anymore, knock on wood, I just don't get much because I'm on all these vitamins, I guess. But I did get COVID, of course, like everybody else. But in any event, I used to just, the first day or two of a sore throat, which is obviously a virus or a cold, just pop some Zithromax, and the next day you're better. If you don't, a week later you're sick. Now you have a full-blown sinus infection. They wish you just kind of knocked it out with that. So I do think Zithromax has antiviral properties. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Guys, did y'all get that?
I hope that came through. But anyway, man, it's been a great show.
Loud and clear. I love it.
Okay.
That was my error. I don't know. I know exactly what happened. And I couldn't hear you there for a second. There's still a couple with us. We're going to call that a show. If you guys know what Tuesday 10 means, if you guys want to take advantage of the 10% discount, this is going to be available for the next couple of days. I think it ends midnight Thursday, Tuesday 10 to get a 10% discount. There you go, right there. Thank you, team. I see. Golly, thank you, guys. Thank you, Allison. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you all for being here. What do you think? Call it a show?
Let's call it a show, Ben. It's been a good night. Thank you.
All right. We're calling it a show. We love you, Connie. We love you. Thank you. I agree. There, Mark is. I'm going to put this for Angie right there. Get the GI map and check gut biome. There we go. Thank you, Mark. I love you. We got to catch up. I know I owe Mark a phone call. I owe Mark a phone call.
You too. I do too. I'm gonna call Mark.
All right, I'm gonna get off here, man. Thank you so much.
See you, Ben. Good night.
See you guys. Love you guys. See y'all next week. Thank you to all of our team. Carter, Katie, Montana, Robin was in here. Angie, we love you. Thank you guys for being here. Where's my outro at? Where is it at? There we go.